Hey, good afternoon. So this week's Torah portion is the portion of Emor. Emor is split into two halves. The first half speaks about the obligations and the responsibilities of the Kohen to remain pure and to remain ready to serve in the temple. And the second half of the portion speaks about the holidays. In fact, the portion of Emor, every single holiday we read it in Shul. And it starts at Passover, goes through Shavuot, Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, Sukkot, etc. And one of the verses we say there is Eile Moadei Hashem. These are the holidays of God, Mikra'ei Kodesh, callings of holiness. And that's the verse we say before we make Kiddush on any holiday during the day. Now, we usually call a holiday a Chag, but the Torah calls it a Mo'ed, which could have two meanings. The first meaning of Mo'ed means a sign. That means that God took the Jews out of Egypt on Passover, but since we don't see godliness, it's not revealed, by us celebrating, by us having a Seder and eating matzah, we bear witness, we become the witness to that which God has done. And the same thing is with Sukkot. When we eat in a hut, we bear witness to the fact that God housed the Jewish people in huts when they left Egypt. And so on. Rosh Hashanah, creation of the world, and Shabbat, that God rested on Shabbat, and so on. So, Eila Moadei Hashem, we become the witnesses of God. Now, it's interesting because the words say Mikra'ei Kodesh, which means calling of holiness. And the Midrash gives us a beautiful example. And the example is of a king who took his son into the desert. And they were in the desert and the son was very thirsty. And the king didn't know what to do. There were two options. Either he could send his horsemen back to the city and quickly go get the kid water. It would take them a couple of days till they went one way, the other way. Or the other option was that he could have his engineers dig and find exactly where there's water and create a well, which will take him a lot longer. And the king chooses the second one. And after a couple of days, the son asked the father, I don't understand. You could have just sent someone back to the city in order to bring me water. Why all the effort? And the father looks at the son and says, listen, what happens if you're in the desert again and you need water and I'm not with you? So if I send someone to get water, it's not going to help you. But if I dig up the well, it will help you. So the son says, yeah, but what happens if I'm not going to know where it is? Because the well will be covered over by the sand, by time. So the father says, I'm going to make a sign. And the sign will be stand tall, and you'll know where the well was. And therefore, no matter when you come, even if you won't have water, at least you'll know where there's water, and you could just dig in and get it. And the rabbi says, same as with the holidays. We go through the whole year. And the year is already there's long winters, there's hot summers, and sometimes it's devoid of spirituality, of liveliness, of excitement in your service of Hashem. Comes along the holidays, and they are Mikra'ei Kodesh. They're wells of spirituality that God placed throughout the year for us to be able to reconnect and rejuvenate spiritually. So the next time you think, 1 second, how can I take off 2 days for the holiday? Don't I need to go on vacation, and I'm going to the Bahamas, and I'm going to Alaska, or to Aruba, wherever you may be going? Remember why God made this. And that brings me to the second point. The word Moadei also means a moed is a calendar. And the rabbi said what God's saying to us is put me into your calendar. You know, what's the difference between a calendar and a to-do list? We all have to-do lists. Do we ever get to the things? Not always. Sometimes we do everything on the to-do list. Sometimes we do some. Sometimes we never get to it. Once you put something in your calendar, you have an appointment, you know you're going to get to it. And what God says is, put me in your calendar. Make time to rejuvenate, to bear witness to the miracles that happened in your life, in the creation of the world, in the story of the Jewish people. And once you put in the calendar, yes, you'll say you're busy, you have time, you have to go here, but it's in the calendar. You will be celebrated. It's springs of spirituality, which are reserves for us in our life. There's an old anecdote they say about this guy from Verizon, and he comes into the office and he's waiting in the waiting room. And he's there to meet the CEO, and the CEO is going from one phone to the next, and he's going on and on. Hold on. After 2 hours, finally, he's all busy. He comes And he says, yes, how could I help you? And the guy says, sir, I'm here from Verizon, and I'm here to connect your service. The whole time, he was making believe he was on the phone to show that he was busy, but he wasn't really busy, because ultimately, the service wasn't even connected. And what God's saying to us is like this: you can't fool God. I'm busy. If you don't have your service connected, if you don't have your spirituality, if you're not connected to the well, if the phone is not connected, then nothing else will work. So put me in your calendar, if it's Shabbos, if it's the holidays, and let's be a witness to the miracles in our life and to all that God does for us. God bless you.